What up, y'all? So, as y'all know, I'm doing a series called Martin and Gina's Diary, where I have different females on and talking about their relationships that they are previously in or that they were in. Previously and were are the same thing. Bear with me while I just feel like a big dumbass. So, anyway, we talking about relationships that they are in or previously were in. But I want to give you the perspective of Martin, which is, I guess, me in this series. I just want to give you a backstory about my relationship and my journey to find this everlasting happiness and peace with my Gina. So, I got in a relationship about 3 years ago with this girl that I met at culinary school. We didn't hit it off at first. She didn't like me for some reason. But eventually, throughout the time that we were in culinary school, I guess she warmed up to me and gave me every contact information that she had. That should have been a red flag, but your boy's a player. Anyway, we started talking, and straight off the bat, I noticed we had some differences. Not really big differences, just differences at the time that were something that I wasn't into. Like, this individual was like smoking weed and some other things that I didn't agree with at the time. So what I did, instead of being a man and accepting my partner, I gave her an ultimatum. I told her either it was me or you could, continue smoking weed. Because, again, at that time, I didn't do that type of thing. And she chose me, which was, looking back, the wrong choice. But she ended up choosing me, and again, I should have been grateful, but I wasn't. I should have been a man, and I was not. So we started dating, and it was going well, but I would still have different insecurities or different thoughts that she was either cheating on me or she was going behind my back with this other individual and doing things or talking about me. So it was kind of tough for me to trust her or even trust myself with the process of having a girlfriend. I wasn't, okay, never mind, I lied. So I was pretty controlling, not in like a physical or anything bad, but I would always want her to keep our relationship between us. Don't let other people in, because I heard once you start letting other people in, that's room for different opinions, biases. So I always tried to tell her, stop letting these other people in, because look how they're talking about me. It was always about me. It wasn't about us. So once her friends started giving her really good advice, actually at the time, I wasn't mature enough to understand, but they were telling her to leave and they were giving her, different things. And I felt really, I guess, betrayed by her. And I felt really, what is the word I'm looking for? I guess embarrassed. Because growing up, I always was told I was a good kid, that I would make a girl happy. And hearing that these other people don't like me or that they're telling my girlfriend to leave, it really, upset me. Again, it was only about me. I didn't think about her at all. So I'll get to that in a moment. But with her, she always chose my side. Regardless of what they said, she always chose me because she felt like there was something I could give to her that people in her past could not. So, again, I was always trying to control who she was talking to and, trying to be her father instead of her boyfriend. So every time we was, and this individual went to school with us as well. Therefore, it was pretty toxic at times. I remember a lot of arguments, a lot of, close encounters that could have been avoided if I was a man. If I could have put away my childish ways and started making her feel safe and secure rather than push her away. There was this I think it was a big moment in our relationship where I felt like it changed. And now that I look back, I want to apologize to her about this because I didn't understand the full meaning of it. And there was one time either she was texting me or calling me. She was like, hey, I have really bad depression. And I'm not sure to put a lot of her business out there, but she was like, if I need your help with something, or if I'm going to do something, I need you to talk me out of it. Could you be that person? And me, I was always thinking about what my family would say, telling me that I need to leave said person because I don't need to put myself through this, or, it was uncomfortable for me to deal with this because I was going through it. And I told her, no, I can't be that person, which I still don't understand why she stayed, why she continued dealing with me, because that's really a big thing that a lot of people struggle with. And even me struggling with that at the time, I should have been more mindful of that. And I wasn't. But again, she continued to love me. She continued to be with me. And I continued to tear her down. All because I told her she was pretty and, I brought her around my family. I thought that was enough. But not knowing that there was a lot of demons, a lot of hurt that she was going through, that she was looking for her significant other to be that for her. So, multiple days where there was a lot of arguments, a lot of breakups, a lot of get back together, and I never could trust her. I'm not sure why. Well, actually, I lied. Let me give you the reason. I felt like I was unattractive. So for a girl to even like me or to even date me, I'm sorry, I should have started off with this. She was my first girlfriend. I believe at 18 or 19, I got together with her, and she was my first girlfriend. And I always thought that girls didn't find me attractive. So when she did, I did my best to try to hold on to it. And when she would spend time with other people, or she would do whatever made her happy, I felt like I was being played. I felt like I was taken advantage of. Not knowing if she was doing anything or not. Not that she gave me any reason to believe that she was doing anything. That was just my mindset, and that was just how I was thinking at the time. So, fast forward, we ended up going to South Dakota, and I went before her, and I believe it was like a 2-week span that we were separated. Oh, I'm sorry. Thinking about what I'm going to say and reliving this makes me upset with myself. Makes me really frustrated on how I treated this person, because she was one of the best things that ever happened to me. She gave me my son, which is something I could never repay to her. I can never say thank you enough. So bear with me if this is a little difficult for me. Going back down memory lane, because again, in my previous videos, I told you guys, I've forgiven myself for all that I've done and all that I've let people do to me. So I blocked this part of my life out, not in a bad way. I moved on from it, but again, going back down memory lane, it's a little tough. So there was 2 weeks that we were separated, and I missed her like crazy. I thought about her every day. I thought I did, actually. I think mostly what it was about, and now that I'm looking back, I don't think I felt a connection with her. Like, yeah, she was my girlfriend. She was the person I called when I was down, but I think mostly it was the sex that kept me in the relationship. I think it kept me attached to her, because if I respected her and loved her on a personal level, I wouldn't have put her through all this hurt, all this damage. So it had to have been the sex that kept me there, because she wanted something that I didn't give her at the time. So when she was still in Tulsa, she texted me. She was like, hey, when I get there, I want to tell you everything that I've done. I want to start over. I want to have a clean slate. To me, I'm like, fuck, she's going to tell me she was cheating on me, and I don't know if I could deal with that. So I pressured her into telling me what it is. Like, she was like, Julian, I want to tell you when I get there. I want to tell you when I get there, but I couldn't have it. My anxiety was eating me up. I felt like I was going to explode if I didn't know. So I was at a Walmart with one of the guys that was in South Dakota. She ended up telling me, which is, oh my goodness, sorry, I was such a fucking goofball. She texted me, well, I smoked weed a couple times while we were dating. And I laughed it off. I was like, haha, whatever, that's fine. I thought you cheated on me, blah, blah, blah. But how dumb of I, if that's even a good sentence, how dumb of me to put so much pressure on her that she was scared to tell me that she smoked weed, something natural, something that comes from the earth. That's how much fear she had of me, and I didn't see it at the time. I wasn't man enough to put away something so simple that could have ruined her for the rest of her life. When I found out why she was smoking weed, I couldn't even look myself in the mirror. That's why I had to go through a change. That's why I had to forgive myself, because the shit that I put her through and put other people through, it was hard for me to continue looking at myself in the mirror. I would look at myself and I didn't see the man that I knew looking back at me. My eyes felt foreign to me. So, I felt like we got past that, and I made an effort to text the friend that was giving her advice, that was actually there for her, that I was trying to push away out of her life. I ended up texting her. I'm not sure if she ever got the message, but I apologized for the man that I was, and I wanted everything to be better between all of us. So fast forward, she ended up getting there, and off the bat, we go to a Denny's, for breakfast, because she got there really early, and I see this person's name pop up, and I'm just like, really? You're texting this person? You're supposed to be here with me? Again, being a child, being very, very insecure, being very, very childish. And, being upset. I don't know if she knew it at the time, but for the times that we was there, I would always bring things up. I didn't want her hanging out with anybody there, because, again, that insecurity was there, that she would cheat on me, that I would feel and look like, a goofball, basically. I was always afraid of people making fun of me because they may have done something with my girl and I don't know about it. Let me tell you this, fellas. One thing, as a man cannot have insecurities. You may not like something about yourself, but you accept it and you move past it. If your significant other loves you for who you are, stop caring on if they're telling you the truth or not. If your significant other is cheating, there is nothing you can do about it. If they're not cheating, then you hold on to that with all your might, because women like that are really hard to find. I see a lot of these girls on Facebook or Snapchat selling their body, or sending like nudes for money, and that's someone's mother, someone's daughter, someone's potential girlfriend, and for you to have Not saying that's wrong. Do what you do. I'm all for women's rights. I'm all for showing your body or whatever. But when you have a woman that who doesn't do that, or a woman who holds herself to a higher standard, you have to hold on to that. And I didn't. There was this one time, I forgot where I was at before I started going off of that, but I guess I'll move on. There was this one time they were throwing a party in the rec center at the state park that we were staying in. And she wanted to go, so of course we went, and she goes around the corner and she comes back with some alcohol. Oh my goodness. Fuck, I was such a goofball. So, and it was alcohol in it, and I got mad that she was drinking alcohol because I was putting labels on her that didn't belong to her. For example, a lot of you know the people that raised me were alcoholics, and I didn't want that to be a part of my life anymore. And I thought that's what she was going to turn out as. Again, I have no idea why I did that. I don't know why I said the things that I said to her that night. But that night right there, I feel like broke her in a way that she would never be the same. I called her a mean name, and she, of course, acted as she should have. She got really upset. She left me, and at that time, that's where I felt empty. Like, I fucked this up. Then she leaves, and then she gets drunk, and I have to go get her from the rec center or whatever, and then we end up getting into an argument because I made it about me again. And she ended up leaving, but then the next day I talked her to coming back. And I think a couple weeks later we ended up leaving to come back to Tulsa. But fellas, that whole time we were in South Dakota was supposed to be our new start, our beginning to happiness, to our forever, to our happy ever after. And I ruined it because of the man that I was. A lot of men don't understand, especially men that was raised by single women. They are used to be uncomforted. They're used to being swaddled by their mother because that's all that they had. Women are very nurturing and loving. And when you give that to a boy and you don't give him the structure or the discipline that a father brings into the household, they start to feel entitled. They start to feel like their feelings come before anyone else, especially another woman, because that's how their mother treated them. And that couldn't be further from the truth. A man is supposed to hold down his significant other. A man is supposed to make sure that his family, his girlfriend or potential wife that is going to bear his children, bear his legacy, is taken care of. And I wasn't that man at the time. So we ended up coming back from South Dakota and finding out she was pregnant. And we ended up moving in together. Again, I wasn't the man she was looking for. We were arguing about this other person. I would bring up stuff that she did in the past. I would always go back and forth with her about dumb shit. It wasn't until I got real bad depression, real bad anxiety, where I started looking for marijuana to help me cope through these things or help me mellow out, is when I started becoming a better man for her, because that hurt and that anxiety that I had building up was no longer causing me to feel this way towards her or about her, or even towards the other people that was a part of our lives at the time. And that decision was really weird, and I'm really not sure. I know it hurt her, but I'm not sure how bad it hurt her when I told her, hey, I want to try marijuana to help me cope with my anxiety and depression. She was actually very supportive, and she helped me through the whole thing. But that proved to me how much of a poor individual I was. Actually, let me not be PG. That showed how much of a bitch I was. And for her to stay strong, that's the type of woman that deserves a real man. And again, I just want to apologize. I don't know how many times I apologized to her in this video, but I really want to let you know that you are a great woman. You are a very powerful woman. Through the things that you've been through, the things that are still going on now, I thank you, and I hope that we can reconnect and be the parents that our son needs us and wants us to be. So, yeah, with that, and again, finding out what she was using marijuana for, I couldn't imagine. I'm not going to put her business out there, but I'm just going to tell you, if I had to deal with a loss that she had to deal with, I don't think I would have been as I guess level-headed, as comforting, as kind as she was at the time, because that part of my heart that she experienced, like the loss that she experienced, I don't think my heart could have dealt with it. So I started, we both started smoking weed again, and it helped a lot. I wasn't as anxious. I didn't have a lot of depression, but again, I was always thinking she was cheating or she was doing different things with other people. Because again, now it wasn't that I was ugly or that I was overweight. It was now, well, I did X, Y, and Z to you, so you're going to cheat on me because you don't love me anymore. You know, you're just staying with me just because you want a boyfriend, or I'm just a person to stay with. And she would, time after time, tell me how handsome I was, tell me that I don't need to worry about what other people say, because at the end of the day, she comes home to me. And I didn't see that at the time. I didn't care to hear it, just because I didn't believe her. Or it was, well, why are you allowing these people to talk about me if you don't care what they say, or you don't... It was always on her. She could never do right. You feel me? And that just goes back to being a little boy, you know, in a man's body. Not taking responsibility, not giving a fuck what other people thought about me, but giving into the negativity and giving into what other people that had nothing to do with nothing affect how I treated the person that I love, treated the person that was bearing my child at the time. So my son was born, and nothing really changed. We are parents now, so of course that was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of difficult things that we had to go through with being new parents. And it wasn't until I met this man named Bulldog. This is a legit name. Great man. He helped me with a lot of things. I should have shouted him out on my last video on people who raised me. Only people who raised me. Oh my goodness, how did I fuck that up? People that raised me, even though I only knew them for like 2-3 years or whatever. I think going on 3 years. But this man has fucking taught me so much. He has heard damn near everything that I've went through, gave me great advice. And it's not until I met him to where I started thinking differently. And he was the one who pushed me to become a better person. So I took the time to look myself in the mirror one time before I had to meet him to go work out. I sat in the car, I looked in the mirror, and I told myself I forgive myself. And I didn't stop saying that until I believed it. I looked myself in the eye, and the person that was looking back at me began to look familiar. And it was at that time where I went to her and I said, hey, I apologize for the things that I've done to you. I know the individual that I was not appropriate. I hope that you forgive me. If not, I hope I can work to be the man that you deserved. We're not together now, but that doesn't mean we won't be together in the future. And that's why I wanted to start this journey, just to show people that relationships are something that you should take very seriously. A lot of people want to have multiple women or women on the side, but when you get that Gina, when you finally have a woman that is for you, that will fight for you, that will kill for you, that is something that men was gifted. You know, God gave us women to have a companion, to have a significant other, to have a partner. And when you finally find that, you receive your rib back. The rib that was taken from you to make her, she becomes one with you. So, fellas, if you have someone like that and you're treating them bad, or you're not the man that they deserve, you have to take a look at yourself and you have to forgive yourself first. Regardless if you did wrong or not, you have to forgive yourself for whatever you have done, so you can be one with yourself, so you can finally be the man that this person wants you to be. So again, I apologize for her for that, and I started living my life better. I became the man that I want to be, and that I know that I can be for either her or another woman in the future. But yeah, I guess I'll wrap that up. There's nothing really more to that. We're doing fine. We live together. She's looking for her own place right now, a bigger place. And I feel like that'll be actually really good. I feel like to fully heal, we need that time to be separate. We need that time to meditate on the type of adults we're going to be, the type of parents we're going to be. Because, again, we have a child together, and that child comes before anything in this world, and he deserves to have parents that love each other, that loves him. So we are going to do what's best for him now, regardless if we're together or not. And I'm glad that she is his mother. She is a great mother. She is a great individual. She has a great heart. But again, sometimes people don't work out. Sometimes people are in your life for the experience. People are in your life for the lessons. Experience, lessons, probably the same thing. So I can deal with it. But what I feel like love is, now that I am a better man, a better father, love to me is sacrifice. Love is putting your significant other above yourself. Not all the time, because of course you need to take time for yourself, but to make sure that they eat. And she showed these characteristics from the beginning. October 14th, 2018. There you go. Look, I remember shit. Till now, she has made sure I've eaten. She had made sure I've had the necessary accessories to live life. She has cooked me dinner damn near every day since we lived together. She has done my laundry almost every day. But, she stopped now. But, hopefully we can get her back doing that. But But she has became well, actually, no, she was always the woman that I needed. But now she is picking up the pieces of her life, putting herself back together from the damage that I've done. And now sometimes she gets a little irritated with me or quick to anger, which is fine. I just hope that, she realizes that this is not the path that she wants to continue to take, because it's not going to do her any good. But again, I understand, and I take full responsibility of everything she gives to me. But again, and that's what, fellas, you need to understand, and ladies, maybe you need to realize this as well. When a man hurts you, and he hurts you in a way that seems unforgivable, but you find it in yourself to forgive this person, it is okay to be upset. It is okay to still hold on to the past, but eventually you'll have to move forward. Eventually you'll have to either forgive this individual, or you're gonna have to move on from him. And that's something that, hopefully she realizes. Again, I've done everything right for her to feel upset. I'm not making excuses for anything. But there will be a time where that needs to move on. And there will be a time to where we get together and be like, what is next, Yeah, that's a real big thing that we're both struggling on right now. And fellas, it is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to let your significant other know your insecurities. Because me, I let her know my insecurities, but I still had them. I didn't give it to her in the sense of, like, let me tell you this so you can be the one that helps me overcome it. I gave it to her so that she felt obligated to only be about me. I told her, hey, I have these insecurities, therefore don't go see these people, or don't hang out with male friends, or don't, smoke weed, because this is how I felt. You have to be willing. You have to be willing to accept whatever comes your way. You have to be willing to accept that she's going to upset you. She's going to do things that you may not like. She's going to have friends that you may not like. She's gonna do something that's gonna piss you off, that's gonna upset you, but you have to love her more than you dislike things that she does. Again, don't stay in toxic relationships. I'm man enough to say that we both were toxic in our relationship, and we are becoming better individuals to, move past that. But again, you have to love her more than whatever she's going through. Martin and Gina in the TV show argued a lot. They broke up a couple times, but again, they were soulmates. They connected on a level that was so deep that regardless of what Pam said, or regardless what other women said to Martin that they could give him that Gina couldn't, there was nothing that swayed them swayed them away from each other. They loved each other so much, and that is something that we all need to feel, because that is what God intended us to have. He calls us to have relationships, not just relations. And I'm saying relations because I think that just means sex. If it doesn't, please let me know in the comments, because my grammar is totally fucked. Anyway, yeah, it's just having that type of love with an individual is something that I'm really looking forward to. You know, someone who laughs at my jokes even though they're corny. Someone who just looks at me and I can tell in their eyes that they are in love with me. That is something I'm really looking forward to. I tell people all the time, I'm looking for what I felt. How do I fuck up what I say? I tell people I want to feel what I thought I felt in my previous relationship. Let me explain. I thought I felt love. I thought I felt Yes, I thought I felt love. I thought I felt happiness, but overall I didn't, just because of the circumstances that we both went through. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to either with her or another woman having a happy ever after. And happy ever after doesn't mean the struggle goes away. Happy ever after means you found your soulmate. You found the woman that you want to grow old with. You find a woman to where you find a woman that when the beauty and the body goes away, you're still in love with them like it was the first time you met them. And that is something that I'm really looking forward to. Man, you have to treat your woman like a queen. And if she doesn't act like a queen because of her insecurities or because of things that other men has done to her or said to her, you have to love her harder. But fellas, do not get your heart broken, or do not let women who you want to be your queen, but they are, I guess, not acting like that, or acting like someone who you want to have children by. Don't keep pursuing it. Yes, it's a really, actually it's not a thin line. It's a very fucking thick line. You know what type of woman you want. But the other type of women that maybe give it up easier or have the better body or will be at the club with the booty shorts and the croc top. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. But you have to find... Oh, man. Yeah, you have to find the woman that is compatible with you. And you have to love a man. You can't let it get away, because they tell you there's other fish in the sea, but those fish wasn't the prize fish. It wasn't the fish that you would take home and show your mom. She's not the fish that you want to, hang up on your mantle. She's not the fish that you'll be proud of. So when they tell you there's other fish in the sea, don't believe them. Because those other fishes. Fish is not a word, right? There's other... You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video, because who am I to interview other people about their relationships and me not tell you about mine? So hopefully you guys like this video. I may have some more men on here. It was going to be strictly for women because I wanted to give you a Martin and a Gina, but I guess from now on I can just be the host, and the other individual, if I choose to have men on here, can be the Martin. If you guys want to be a part of that, or you want to see another guy on here giving you his advice and his life story about his relationship, just let me know. And hopefully you guys are safe. From me to you, may your pain be champagne.